Okay, everyone, we've got Coach Lunny here. JJ, if you want to get us started with the first question.
Barry, what was the message to the team in the locker room following the game today? He's muted.
Unmuted. Y'all got me now? Sorry about that. I guess Kyle threw me into the wolves there and had me make me be the head coach, the offensive coordinator, and the communications muter. So, just told them that we were that we were proud of them. That I know Coach Traylor would be proud of them. That I know I was, our staff, and they got a lot to be proud of. Because listen, let me tell you, it could have easily gotten out of hand. As good as a football team as we were playing, and I think it got 24-7 there. And man, our defense rose up and got a turnover that completely switched the tide of the game. And man, our guys came to life and turned the tide and really sustained the momentum for the bulk of the third and fourth quarter. And it was just, we just couldn't finish the game. And so I told them that we were proud of them. We did just enough in all three phases probably to lose the game. But we also did just enough in all three phases to be in the game. And so hats off to Louisiana and Coach Napier and his staff. They got a 10-1 football team, nationally ranked team, and there's a reason that they've won those games. They played really clean, and they've got a really good football team, well coached. And so and I also told them that this is a great litmus test here. I know for where Coach Traylor's vision is to go to this, go with this program. Is we went toe to toe with some really good teams this year. We didn't win the games, and we got to learn how to win those games.
Barry, you guys rallied for 17 points there in the third quarter, at the beginning of the fourth quarter. What did it feel like during that time? Did you guys feel like you might have been able to pull this one out?
Oh yeah, I think we all sensed that. I think everybody probably in the stadium to a large degree sensed that the tide had turned, and our guys were playing with a lot of enthusiasm and energy, and man, it just came to life. And when those things happen, they're a lot of fun to be a part of. And really, to be honest with you, when we got the ball down there and it had to come away with the field goal, it kind of petered out the momentum a little bit. And that's kind of been the story a little bit all year for us offensively. We've gotten bogged down a few times and had to kick field goals and not touchdowns. And for us to take that next step, we've got to be able to finish those drives with touchdowns and not field goals.
And just the overall effort the team gave today, I mean, was that a microcosm of the season as far as the effort the guys put in?
Well, I know yes, it is. And that's one thing that it's one thing that's never wavered with our team that from Jump Street is effort. And I thought we played tremendously hard. I don't necessarily believe we played tremendously well, but we played tremendously hard against a really good opponent. Under some difficult situations, circumstances, not having your head coach, among others. And so I think for that, we have a lot to be proud about.
Barry, can you tell us how many guys you were out today?
I don't even know the exact number. I know that, we had, I would say anywhere between maybe, 15 to 20 guys probably total in the organization that weren't available. That's a rough estimate. I would have to look and see the exact number, but certainly was affected to some degree. And I love the way that Coach Traylor's stance about this the whole time. When y'all heard it, it was like, we're going to play. And we've not once, even mentioned it to our players other than we're going to play this game, no matter who's coaching, who's available as a player, we're going to go play. And that's what we did. And I'm proud of the fact that we did that. I know he's proud of the fact that we did that. We all, are disappointed that we came up short and didn't win the football game, in a game that we had certainly plenty of chances to win it.
Hey, Greg, go ahead.
Barry, what happened during the rally that Frank Harris got going to the extent he did offensively?
Well, part of it was, the wind was a pretty significant factor in the game. You can see early on when they were going in the wind, the ball was hanging up in the air a little bit. And so we got a tad bit more aggressive in the third quarter, and just from a play calling standpoint, probably, somewhat conservative in the first quarter. We're moving the ball, running the ball, trying to, ride Sincere and his success. And it was really working early on. And then the second half, they didn't really change anything. We just decided to, that we wanted to be a little bit more aggressive. And certainly the way we started, was kind of an ultimate downer, and So I was proud of the way that he kind of fought out of that after, a mistake early in the third quarter. For him to come back and make some throws. Our receivers came to life, and it was probably just a combination of all those things. More aggressive calls, Frank getting more comfortable, our receivers making plays, all that stuff came to life.
Did you see anything in particular that didn't connect on that last drive when you guys stalled with the incompletions on 3rd and 4th down? Looking to
we had some guys open, I think, and just I would have to go back and watch it. It's hard to see from the field. And certainly, was disappointing that when we were driving and, those are the critical junctures of the game. And we did not execute in the critical junctures of the game. And when you do that against a really good team, you don't win many games. And that's what happened today.
How would you guys rate your effort on defense and specifically tackling overall through this one?
Well, I don't think it was a lack of effort. I didn't see anybody loafing out there. I think, when you play a team that's a running team that has a really good veteran offensive line, a running quarterback with 2 good running backs and tight ends, that was going to be a big challenge to begin with. Then you throw in the fact that, it's been a 4.5-week break. That's typical of bowl season. Sometime you take a long break. One of the first things you're concerned about is the 2 highest priorities you're concerned about is turnovers and ball handling on offense and tackling on defense. And, those 2 things today probably, were – I know offensively, I can certainly speak for that and say that those 2 things really, really affected the outcome of the game. The 2 turnovers that we had were very detrimental to the game. And then obviously tackling, I don't know how many of that was missed tackling, the scheme base. I'm sure it's a mixture of things. It wasn't from a lack of effort, but I certainly you could see that we certainly didn't probably tackle as well as we had at certain times during the year. Now, did the layoff have a lot to do with that? I don't know. Sometimes you got to tip your cap to the opponent that you're playing. So it's probably a mixture of all those things.
If you have questions for Coach Lunny, please use the raised hand tab on the participants feature. Go ahead, Steven.
Hey, Coach Lunny, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Steven.
All right. Was there a little bit more added motivation today with Coach Traylor watching from San Antonio to try and get this one for him?
Yeah, I think so. I think you see a team that loves their head coach and respects him greatly and appreciates what he's brought to the table and the staff, And so there was a lot to play for today. And among those, that being at the top, there was several people that couldn't be with us, our head coach and other coaches. And so there, we had a lot of motivation to play well today. And, national TV, ranked opponent, first opportunity to win a bowl game, friends and family. I mean, listen, if you can't get ready to play a game like this, then something's wrong with you. But I certainly sensed during the course of the week, once we found out that Coach wasn't going to be with us, that the players certainly wanted to make him proud in the way they played. And the ultimate way would have been able to come out with the win. And so I think they were disappointed in that for sure.
Okay, Greg, go ahead and wrap us up.
Did you feel like Coach Traylor's absence ended up having an impact in this game, whether it was just how things operated or what difference did it make?
Yeah, it's hard for me, Greg, to put my finger on what effect it had. But when any organization doesn't have their leader and the CEO and the leader or the head coach, I mean, that's a tough blow. And so for me to put it, it's hard for me to put it in measurables on what we missed from him. But there's no doubt with him not being here, it certainly didn't have a positive effect on the game, And so did it have a negative impact on the outcome of the game? I mean, yeah, to a certain degree, sure it did. Not having, your head coach here when you on the sideline and all that. I will say, I think for, in that circumstance, I thought our coaches across the board stepped up, took up the slack the best they could, and our players really responded to that. And I think a large part of that was they wanted to make Jeff proud. Among all those other motivations.
And then lastly, even with the result being what it was, how significant was it to be competitive with the ranked team on this stage, and how can you carry this forward into next season?
Well, we've done that all year long with, BYU and UAB, and, we've gone toe to toe. We just hadn't been able to finish the games. And so I think it's motivation. I certainly know that we'll be using that as motivation in the off season and next year is if we want to get to where, Louisiana is and some of those other programs to be nationally ranked and to be looked at one of those group of 5 programs, they've earned their way there. And so we've seen how close we are. We've seen that that's a realistic, goal for us to get to that point. And so hopefully we can use it as motivation to learn how to finish those games and win these games against these nationally ranked opponents.
Thank you, Coach Lunny. We will have Rashad Wisdom in here next.
Thanks, Barry.
If you have questions for Rashad, go ahead and use the raised hand feature on the participants tab. JJ, we've got Rashad here if you want to get us started.
Hey, Rashad, what was it like in the locker room after this game?
Everyone's pretty disappointed. We definitely felt like we could have won that game multiple different times. We just felt like that was one, our game, and we let it slip out. But we're gonna just have to go back during the off season, see where we lacked at, and work hard and just try to come back stronger next season.
Do you feel like rust was a factor early on?
I do early in the game for sure. Just with simple things like tackling and things like that. We don't really hit live like that in practice too much, and we was down for 3 to 4 weeks or so. So I definitely feel like rust was a factor for us at the beginning, but eventually it was knocked off, and we started playing how we normally play.
When you guys were rallying in the third quarter, did it feel like you guys were going to be able to pull this one out?
Yeah, for sure. The play that DeMarco made was huge for us. It was a big momentum shift for us, and it was something that we needed for sure. We was talking about it on the sideline, even before that series happened, saying that we really needed a turnover. We needed the momentum to shift, and so that was a big play for us. And we just figured we ride the momentum out as long as we could. But I feel like that the momentum definitely had us feeling like it was our game. It was our game to lose.
Greg, go ahead.
Rashad, was there anything you guys had to change or do differently to get that rally going there and get a couple stops in the second half defensively?
Not really. We just kept playing, the same defense we were playing the whole time. I feel like we started, just like I said, started playing how we know we can play. The rest finally got knocked off. And then, like I said, the play that DeMarco made was huge for us. So I feel like those factors played in big for us to start rallying.
What were the biggest challenges of trying to slow their running game and to secure some of the tackles that were missed on this one?
I feel like the biggest factors was really just, like you said, just tackling, wrapping up, just fundamental stuff. Hats off to them. Their O-line was really good. The running backs were really good, running really hard. So, that just makes it even harder for us. But I feel like, just the simple thing, just as tackling, getting off blocks and things like that is what, really, really affected us.
Even with the result being what it is, how significant was it for you guys and for this program to play this game and be close to a ranked opponent in a national TV in a bowl game like this?
I feel like it was big for us, like I said earlier in the week. I feel that just gives us a lot of exposure and kind of a sense of like, we can really play with whoever we go out on the field with, just as long as we play with, just the pillars and things that, that we're real big on within the program. I'm sorry, I had a blank.
It's all good. Is there anything you can learn from this game today that you can carry into next season?
Yeah. So, definitely just the fact that, just being able to play with the bigger opponents and things like that. But I feel like what the next step for us is just being able to pull out in the close games and just not being okay with just hanging in the game with them and coming up short. I feel like we need to next season we'll be able to come out of those close games on top, and I feel like that's the next step for us.
What was the impact of Coach Traylor not being here today? Was there anything that was different because of that?
It's funny because, we definitely would have loved to have him here. And, he's a big part of the team. He's our head coach. But honestly, I felt like everything was still ran pretty smoothly. Coach Lunny did a great job stepping in for him. And, the leaders definitely stepped up as well on the team. And I feel like everything went pretty smoothly. And, You know, that there was nothing, you know, that felt, it didn't feel like weird or awkward. Like it felt normal.
Okay, guys. Thank you, Rashad. We'll have
All right.
Frank in here next.
Thanks,
Thank
Rashad.
If you have questions for Frank, go ahead and use the participants tab and the raised hand feature. JJ, why don't you lead us off?
Hey Frank, what was the mood like in the locker room after today's game?
You know, sad. We didn't come out on the winning end, and you know, just disappointed.
When you guys were rallying there in that third quarter, did you feel like you guys could pull this one out?
Yeah, I thought we had a great chance of pulling it out. We got down to the red zone, ended up getting stopped, kicking a field goal. You got to learn from it.
Greg, go ahead.
Frank, you really got some things going offensively during that rally, both passing and running. What sort of changed for you that you were able to have some success in that stretch?
I think Coach called my number a few times to run the ball. He believed in me, and you know they did a great job of blocking and protecting me, running and throwing the ball, and then kind of worked out in our favor, but we ended up coming up short, so it's not good enough.
Yeah, there were some difficult stretches in this game as well. What were the challenges that their defense presented you, or that led to maybe some of the things that didn't connect on offense?
I just think we had a lot of self-inflicted wounds. We beat ourselves a lot of the times, like my interception, and then the one I tried to throw out a sincere feet, and they ended up being a fumble. I picked up at the 1 yard line, so stuff like that. We just can't do that.
You had to come out for one play in this game because I guess you were grimacing or a little slow to get up. How did you feel physically coming through this one?
Yeah, I don't know why he told me I gotta come out because I always get up slow, so I don't know what his deal was right there.
Gotcha. So even with the result being what it is, what was the significance of playing in this game today and being as close as you were in the fourth quarter there? How can you carry this to next season?
You gotta just build off of this. Just know how we feeling right now, and you know you don't want to come out next year with the same feeling because it sucked.
And you guys did not have Coach Traylor here today. What impact did that have on you guys? Did you notice anything differently?
But you know, Coach Taylor is you know, he brings it every day. So it was everyone knows that he wasn't there, but you know, we had a few teammates missing, some other coaches missing. You can't use that as an excuse. We just didn't come out on the winning end, so those didn't play no factors on why we didn't win.
Anything else for Frank? Thank you, Frank. Thank you, everyone. We'll send out a recording.